All right, this is lesson 1, exploring quadratic relations. We're going to continue where we left off in the first video. So we can see this is still a U shape that it's pointing down. It's a little bit more narrow. So we're going to go ahead now and draw a smooth curve through the points. And let's see, do that a little bit better. Sometimes it's hard to do it on the screen. Get that nice symmetrical shape. There we go. Okay, and we'll put arrows on the ends, and then we label with the equation. And again, the Cartesian plane is already prepared for us. We have our x, our y, our scale, and our origin is identified. Okay, now we're going to do our first differences. So first differences, we'll write our title so we know what the numbers are that we're finding, and we start at the bottom. So it'll be negative 18, subtract a negative 8. And that gives us negative 10. So negative 8, subtract negative 2, and that will be negative 6. Negative 2, subtract 0, which is negative 2. 0, subtract a negative 2, which will be positive 2. Negative 2, subtract negative 8, which is positive 6. And then negative 8, subtract a negative 18, which is positive 10. Okay, so as predicted, or as what we know, the first differences are not constant, and that makes sense because our relationship is not a line. So now let's do our second differences, and based on what we saw with our first example, I'm expecting these to be a constant. So let's check it out. So negative 10 minus a negative 6. Now I'm not going to write it down. I'm just going to go ahead and do it in my head. That's what I'm doing in my head. That gives me a negative 4. Negative 6 minus a negative 2 is negative 4 again. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. 2 minus 6 is a negative 4. And 6 minus 10 is a negative 4. Okay, so that's what we expect to happen based on our first example we did, and the second differences are constant again. And we look, and what it has in common is that x is squared right here. Right, that's what the first and the second examples have in common. All right, let's look at the third one. The third one also has an x that's squared, but we have other values attached to it. So I'm interested to see what this graph looks like. We'll start with our substitution. So negative 3 has to go where x is for x squared, and negative 3 has to go where the x is with negative 4. So for substitution, it's going to look like this. Y equals negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 plus 3. Okay, using BEDMAS, negative 3 squared would be 9. We have subtract 4. I'm going to think of that as a negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 3 is going to be a positive 12. Plus 3. So 9 plus 12 is 21, plus 3 is 24. That's our y value. Okay, let's do the same now for negative 2. So y is going to equal negative 2 squared minus 4 times negative 2 plus 3. So negative 2 squared is going to be 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8 plus 3. So 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Okay, let's go on to negative 1. So y equals negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 plus 3. So negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is a positive 4 plus 3. And 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 gives us 8. Okay, I'm going to sub in 0 now. Now I'm kind of running out of room. I'm going to write on this side, and then I'll just erase it after when I need to do my first differences. So I'm going to sub in now 0. So y equals 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 3. Since you need this space for first differences, if you're writing out all your calculations like I am, you might want to do it on a lined piece of paper and just attach it to the note behind. Right, so 0 squared is 0, minus 4 times 0 is 0, plus 3. So I have 3. Okay, let's keep going. Next one. y equals, now we're subbing in 1, so it'll be 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 3. So 1 squared is 1, negative 4 times 1 is a negative 4 plus 3. 1 minus 4 is negative 3, negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Okay, let's sub in 2. So I'm assuming that this next value is going to be 3. Let's check it out based on what we saw in our other examples. So we'll sub in y equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 3. So 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 times 2 is a negative 8 plus 3. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Plus 3 is a negative 1. So it did not do what I anticipated. So we can see having the negative 4x plus 3 changed the pattern that I am used to. Okay, so I'm not sure what would go next. Let's go ahead and sub it in. So y equals negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 plus 3. So we have negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12 plus 3. So 9 plus 12 is 21. Plus 3 is 24. Oh, I made a mistake, guys. I got 24, which I did up here because I used negative 3. And I want to see, did I do it wrong here? Yeah, I forgot to tell you this is a typo. Positive 3. And I did sub in a positive 3 there. But it didn't make a difference for this question, positive 3 or negative 3. So I apologize. That was a mistake on my part. This also should be a positive 3. All right, let's go ahead and fix for our substitution. Okay, so we know 3 squared is 9, and that will affect my sign here. Negative 4 times a positive 3 gives me a negative 12. So 9 minus 12 is negative 3, plus 3 is 0. Oh, look, now it repeats. Do you see how it went 24, 15, 8, 3, 0, negative 1, 0? So I would expect this to be 3. I'm going to try it out just to see if it follows the same pattern. Okay, so I was going to erase these ones anyway, so I'll just go ahead and erase. And then we will try this 4. I want to see if this pattern works that we saw in the other examples. So y equals 4 squared minus 4 times 4 plus 3. So 4 squared is 16. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16 plus 3. And 16 minus 16 is 0, plus 3 is 3, so it does work. So that's pretty cool. I would expect then 5 should be 8. Okay, let's try it. So y equals 8 squared, not 8, y equals 5 squared, because that's my x value, minus 4 times 5 plus 3. So 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 times 5 is a negative 20 plus 3. So 25 minus 20 is 5 plus 3 is 8. So look at that. It does have the same pattern, even though we have 4x plus 3. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and we'll graph. I'm expecting to see that U shape. Now, there is no way I'll be able to plot negative 324, right? It's going to be way up past my scale. Even negative 215 I can't, so I'm going to have to start with negative 1, 8. So we know that's 7, 8 would be approximately here. 0, 3 is here. 1, 0 is right here on the x-axis. And then we have 2, negative 1. And then this is where it starts repeating again. I have 3, 0, so that's on the x-axis. 4, 3. And 5, 8. That's pretty cool. So it's the exact same shape. It's just moved to a different spot on the Cartesian plane. So let's draw our smooth curve. Isn't that neat? That changing the values right here that comes after the x squared, it still gives us that U shape, but in a different spot. All right, let's go ahead and label. All right, so we should now, we should have our first differences should be, our second differences should be constant. That's what we expect. So let's check it out. So my first difference is, I might as well start at 8 minus 3 since I have it here. So 8 minus 3 is going to be 5. 3 minus 0 is 3. 0 minus a negative 1 is 1. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. 3 minus 8 is a negative 5. 8 minus 15 is a negative 7. And 15 minus 24 is a negative 9. So sure enough, all our first differences are not constant. That's what we expect because this is not a linear relationship. So now we look at our second differences. And for these, I am expecting a constant number. So let's check it out. Starting at the bottom, 5 minus 3 is a 2. 3 minus 1 is also 2. I'm actually going to write these out, not for those first two, those are easy to do in your head, but I'm going to have negatives and sometimes that can get confusing because we're subtracting a negative. So 5 minus 3 is 2, 3 minus 1 is 2, 1 minus a negative 1, that would also be 2. Negative 1 minus a negative 3, that gives me 2. I think we see the pattern. Negative 3 minus negative 5 is 2. We're going to have 2 and we're going to have 2. All right, so again, the second differences are constant. So what did we discover? This is what I want you to get out of this lesson. The degree of any quadratic relation is 2. Okay, so if we look here, this is degree 2 in example 3. In example 1, degree 2, and on the first one on the other page, it was also degree 2. So the x is always squared in there. Now we saw in example 3, you can have another x, and we'll still get a parabola shape, but sorry guys, my screen's messing up. But the highest degree is still 2. So even though there's another x, that x is degree 1, the highest degree of the whole polynomial is 2. And that results in the graph of, let's get this. The graph of any quadratic relation is called a parabola. So that U shape is called a parabola. Just like for a linear relationship, it's called a line. Okay, so for quadratic relationship, the graph is called a parabola. The second difference in a table of values of a quadratic relation are constant. We saw that 3 times. It does not matter what you do to that x squared. Their second differences are still constant. Now this is something I didn't point out, but we'll look at it now. If a is greater than 0, so a is talking about the coefficient in front of x squared, the number in front of x squared. If that is greater than 0, and that means positive. So if the a value is positive, the parabola opens. So let's check it out. This has an a value of 1. It's positive. The parabola is opening up. This example has an a value of negative 2, a coefficient of negative 2 in front, and this parabola is opening down. And if we look to our first example, here we have again an a value of a positive 1, and my parabola is opening up. So what we've discovered is that if your a is greater than 0, which means positive, if your a is positive, the parabola opens up, and the second differences are, well, let's check it out. The second differences here are positive 2 when it opens up. The second differences in this example are negative 4 and it's opening down. So I'm guessing on the first page in example 1, if the parabola is opening up, the first differences should be positive. Let's take a look. Yes, they are. So when the parabola opens up, the first differences are positive. Okay, let's put that in our conclusion. So if a is positive, a greater than 0, the parabola opens up and the second differences are positive. If a is less than 0 and y equals ax squared, the parabola opens down and the first differences are negative. Okay, you're going to use this information to answer the questions in your textbook. If you have any questions, message me on Edsby. You guys have a great day.